Welcome back to the channel. Finally had a chance to look at some of the questions we've been asked about our Rpod changes, and hoping to answer some of those in a little more depth during this walkthrough. One of the things we've been asked a lot about is this container that was made to hold the sewer hoses. This is homemade. I built this. It's just nothing more than plywood. Got a simple catch on this side. You open it up and it holds sewer hoses, all my sewer connections, etc. So the way I built this is, if you look on the side of the trailer, you've got supports. The supports, I'll come over here and show you one of them. There's metal supports already underneath here. And what we did is we hooked plywood to those supports. You can see the support in here. And then we drilled through and used through bolts, so it's bolted to these pieces here. Then the frame rail actually acts as a stop in the back. Let me pull some of this other stuff out here to show you. But there is a little bit of a gap, which I prefer because that allows water or other moisture to vent, so that things don't get built up in here. I mean, we are right next to the tire. But then after I mounted the plywood to the metal supports, I think, yeah, just 2 bolts per side, is I glued and screwed this piece of plywood to the bottom of those boards. The only thing with the door that you have to watch out for is these bolt ends here that hold the frame on do interfere with the door. So here in the front I had to notch it, and here in the back we also had to notch it, so that all works. And then it's just simple hasp bought at the hardware store that closes and holds that all in. I do want to build another one on the other side for other storage, and when I do that I will try to do an in-depth video as to what I did and how I go about it, and measurements and all of that. Another question we've got on YouTube is questions about how this counter extension works. And what I did is, taking into account that underneath the countertop extension is where all of your switches and outlets are, so you can't have a standard folding countertop or it would interfere with your switches. We still wanted to be able to remove this, so if you look back in the corner here, there's actually a thumb screw. And you can take this one single bolt out and it will remove the whole table. I probably should have used a slightly shorter bolt when we did this, but I bought a longer one, figuring it's better to have a little bit too long and then have it too short. But it does take a little while to get it out because of how long it is. And then this bolt comes up. It's easier to do with 2 hands, but the bolt comes out and then the whole piece comes off. And then these supports that I built are trim boards that I had extra from another project, and some 1/4-inch plywood glued and nailed to them to make sure they're good and strong. And then on the back of this counter I added extra boards for the screws, because I've got screws, 1 screw per support, and also some command strips as well. We might have done double-sided tape instead of command strips, but there is tape or command strip on the back along with the 1 screw. So these are quasi-permanent. I mean, you could remove them if need be, but this still allows you to walk around and get to it. But it's still very easy to install and remove if needed. And the other thing we got a question about is this medicine cabinet that I made. And it's just simple, again, trim board and some other stuff I had extra here. And it's just hinged in standard magnet latch from the hardware store. And then what I did to attach to this is there's I want to say there's like 9 command strips or double-sided tape. I honestly can't remember right off the top of my head. And then just for extra support, I put in 4 screws into the wall. And we have had this now for a couple of trips, and we have not had any issues with it. The magnet's strong enough to hold the door shut in transit. We haven't had anything fall out yet. I'll let you know if something does happen down the road. But so far, it's been working really, really well. Yeah, and I think that's about it for the trailer. And for also another quick update, the barn. So the barn's been coming along really good. Got to get the archery target doors back up, but they are painted, and I put some scrap siding I had left on those, so it's not OSB board. And the door has been working. We don't have the pulley system hooked up yet, but got the white color painted today. And then this is what we were doing, opened up this area because it's kind of an awkward storage. The wall and the door were there, and then someone had sided this part of it, so it was just a real narrow, hard to get at, not very usable storage. And we've tore all that out. I added another post to frame in the door, and we got it railed, and it looks really nice. Now I've got to work on the door. We're going to be putting hinges, and I'm going to cut that so that it's a double bifold door for easy in and out. It used to be on a track, but the track system was really in bad shape and not working very well. So that's my last real big outside project left on the barn, is this door. Once I get this big door figured out and done and working, then I'm going to turn to on building the stairs to the storage loft and workbench inside the workshop. Another thing I'm going to do, it's just going to be aesthetic, but we want to build a cupola for the top with a weather vane. My father-in-law gave us some old windows that'll work perfect for that. I've just got to do the design and build it and get it put up there, but it'll probably be next year before I get to that. Got so many other projects. Definitely appreciate you coming along, and enjoy you guys watching our videos. And if you have any other questions, whether it's the barn or the trailer, please ask. We'll do what we can to answer them. Thanks for watching.